That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Cześć, witam, dzień dobry. What's up? This is Mike. Today we're going to look at one of my favorite hip hop artists, Kanye West, and why he's crashing and burning with his career. And I think we might be looking at probably the final phase of his legacy coming to an end. I don't think he has any way out of it. I don't know if there's any Polish people out there that are huge fans like I am of Kanye West. Clearly, I'm not a fan of his antics that he's been pulling for the past 3 or 4 years, especially when it comes to his divorce with Kim Kardashian. Obviously, I don't really care about these things. I'm more into the artist. But everywhere I look, recently, Kanye West is doing something really ignorant and just controversial, and I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. So we're going to take a look at this today, why Kanye West is having difficulties finding a landing spot for his tour that he wanted to launch in Europe. A lot of the reports have said that the UK has banned him. He has a tour in France, in Marseille. I think that's being postponed or banned. So this topic today is about Kanye getting basically the axe from the cultural minister here in Poland. So let's take a look at this. Kanye West concert canceled in Poland following government threat to ban entry. All right. A planned concert by Kanye West in Poland has been canceled by the venue where it had been due to take place. Its decision followed criticism by the country's culture minister, who had threatened to have West banned from entering the country if the event went ahead. Okay, she's going to override it. She had pointed to his history of anti-Semitism, praise for Hitler, and use of Nazi swastika symbols, saying that such actions are particularly unacceptable in Poland, on whose territory millions of Jews were killed by Nazi Germany in the Holocaust. West had only added the Polish date to his tour 2 days ago, following news that his appearance at the festival in the UK this summer had been canceled after British authorities denied him entry, while a planned concert in France was also delayed amid talk of potential entry ban. So there you go. This is what I was talking about. He had been scheduled to perform on the 19th of June at the Salesian Stadium in Chorzów, which has a capacity of 85,000 for concerts. But in a brief statement posted on social media on Friday afternoon, the venue said the concert had been canceled for formal legal reasons. Well, this is very diplomatic. I like the way they did this diplomacy here. We don't want you here, Kanye. That's basically what they're saying to him. I don't know if anybody has seen Kanye West in the past few years, what he's been doing in terms of his fashion line. He was dropped by Adidas. Then he started his own fashion line where he actually had swastikas on his t-shirts. Like, he had a fashion line, and he thought it would be a great idea and cutting edge that he would promote the selling of his clothing line exhibiting swastikas. This is something, I don't know what you think about it, Polish people, because, in the United States, we're really big on free speech and freedom of expression and stuff like that. But we have a huge Jewish community in the United States. The Jewish community has a lot of power and influence in the country. And I don't know what he was really thinking by doing such a stunt. I don't know if it was even a stunt or it's just to be controversial, to be relevant. How do you see it, Polish people? How do you think this would land in Poland? Do you think you can have somebody who considers themselves to be an artist produce clothing like this that is super anti-Semitic, totally insensitive to the culture, the history of a country, especially like Poland? Really tragic history. So I don't know if Kanye was thinking long-term or wasn't thinking long-term, how this might bite him in the ass in the future, where this moment is here, where he's looking to resuscitate his career and he needs places to perform, and in fact nobody wants to be bothered with him. Its decision came after strong condemnation of the concert by Cultural Minister Marta Sienkowska, We're talking about an artist who has publicly expressed anti Semitic views, downplayed atrocities, and profited from selling t shirts featuring swastikas. This is what I was talking about. These are not controversies. This is a deliberate crossing of boundaries and a normalization of hatred. I would agree with her. I see no point why anybody would be interested in wearing such clothing. In a country scarred by the history of the Holocaust, we cannot pretend that this is just entertainment. She added, culture cannot be a platform for those who exploited to spread hatred. When it was under German occupation from 1939 to 1945, Poland was the primary location where Nazis carried out the Holocaust, with around 3 million Polish Jews among the victims. A similar number of non Jewish Poles were also killed by the German occupiers. So you have Czech, you have Ukrainian Jews, you have Russian Jews. A lot of Jews inhabited Europe at this point in time. And yeah, I think what the stunt that this man has pulled, this is why he's in the situation he's in. I don't know if anybody has seen this, but Kanye West actually published an apology in one of the largest publications in the United States. It might have been the New York Times, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think it's the New York Times. In addition to that, he actually followed up by apologizing to a rabbi. Let's take a look at this apology and let's see what you think about it.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage. Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said. And I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
Okay, so you've seen that. Let that soak in for a little bit. Let's continue. I cannot imagine that in Poland, a country where people were murdered in Nazi Germany extermination camps, we can organize a concert of an artist who openly says that he likes Hitler. Yeah, he said this. Said Sienkowska, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, in further remarks on Friday. She added that she hoped the concert organizers will come to their senses and said that she had been in touch with them to express this view. But if not, the Polish state has tools to block people from entering the country, and we will use them. Absolutely. Sienkowska said she would write the Interior Minister, Marcin Kierwiński, asking for West to be banned from entry if the concert was not canceled. She added that she had the full support of Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski. Why this is important right here, Radoslaw Sikorski is a very prominent member, huge in the United States. I'm wondering if this was more of a political move because Kanye West, we can see in the past, was a huge Donald Trump supporter. So I'm wondering if this was a power move, a good political move, just to kind of stick it to Kanye. Promoting fascism, including the display of Nazi symbols, is a criminal offense in Poland, punishable by up to 3 years in prison. Yep, they don't mess around in Poland. West has branded his planned series of concerts this year an apology tour. In January, he took out a full-page advert in the Wall Street Journal. I was wrong. I'm mistaken. It was the Wall Street Journal, not the New York Times. Apologizing to those I've hurt, saying that he loves Jewish people and blaming his previous actions on bipolar disorder. However, earlier this month, the Wireless Festival in London, where West had been due to headline this summer, was canceled entirely after the British authorities refused him the right to enter the country. I think he thought he was bigger than authorities in countries abroad. I have no way to think why he would see otherwise, that his words don't carry weight and consequences. So it's really strange for me that now at 48, 49 years old, he's probably having a hard time keeping the lights on and needs to go on this tour to stay relevant and then maintain his lifestyle. Soon after, West announced that his planned concert in Marseille, France was postponed until further notice after reports that the French Interior Minister Laurent Nunez was seeking to prevent it from taking place. So everybody is against this man.
This morning, as he tries to stage a career comeback with his latest album, Bully, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200, new trouble for rapper Kanye West, who now goes by the name Ye. 2 major sponsors, including Pepsi, are now pulling out of a summer music festival that he's set to headline in London.
I would say the festival is doomed. I'm surprised it hasn't been canceled yet.
At issue, the disgraced 48-year-old's history of anti-Semitic outbursts and various activities glorifying Nazis, including a song last year with Hitler in the title.
I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what?
Back in 2022, brands including Adidas, which helped make his shoe and clothing line a multi-billion-dollar business, severed ties with him, a major blow to his bottom line. Earlier this year, ahead of his new album release, he took out a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal, apologizing for his past remarks, saying his comments were because of a frontal lobe injury diagnosed in 2023 and bipolar disorder, saying, "I lost touch with reality." But with anti-Semitism on the rise here at home and abroad, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer now speaking out, calling it deeply concerning that the rapper was booked for this summer's Wireless Festival.
I'm just saying how I feel, man.
The London controversy could derail a comeback, recently boosted by his 2 sold-out concerts in Los Angeles.
Live Nation partnered on the show, and Spotify has reaccepted him. Fans are enormously forgiving. There are still R. Kelly fans out there. There are probably a lot more R. Kelly fans who are listening to his music in their earbuds and maybe not letting people know that that's what they're listening to.
Other sponsors, including Budweiser and PayPal, are now under pressure to withdraw from the Wireless Festival.
So that's it. The way I see it is Kanye West has pushed the envelope to the point where he's not welcome anywhere anymore. He recently did a tour in Los Angeles. He still has a fan base there in LA. He's been going on these really weird rants for probably the past 3 or 4 years since he divorced Kim Kardashian. And we can now see the repercussions that have now surfaced because of his actions, because of his words. I think his stunt that he did with the rabbi is just a stunt. As I just said, I think it's a stunt just to show how, like, who better person to go to than a rabbi to plead for forgiveness and talk about how he has all these bipolar disorders and stuff like that. I think this is just him trying to make one last attempt to get in the good graces of his fans, for people abroad to maybe accept him. But I think he's burned all the bridges he can possibly burn. He's aligned himself with really anti-Semitic people. And I don't want to use the word anti-Semitic just loosely, because we know what anti-Semitism is. And I don't know if he's suffering or suffers some type of mental breakdown after his divorce. I really don't know what's happening in the mind of somebody like that who considers themselves to be an artist. But he definitely had this run where he was spewing a lot of hate. And his music changed thereafter. He's not the same artist he used to be. So I would like to ask you, Polish people, what do you think about Kanye West and his words, his actions? Do you think the Polish cultural minister is being too hard on him? Do you think the international community in Europe as a whole is being too hard? Or do you think he deserves this type of treatment? So that's my 2 cents about Kanye West. I'm trying to be neutral here. I'm not trying to really persuade anybody to agree or disagree with me. I'm just trying to have a conversation online when it relates to Poland, Polish culture, and to see if you're affected by this, if you're offended by his words, his clothing line, some of these interview clips we've taken a look at. As always, leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you for spending time with me. This is Mike. Cześć.